suttit, så jag har lite intro-grejer att göra liksom. Welcome, hello sinners, we're back again for part 2 of our Q&A for The Next Reaper, which is a webcomic that you can read on Webtoons, Tapas and a bunch of other places. You can find the links in the description below. In the previous Q&A we talked a lot about Grim, which is our main character in the comic. If you haven't checked out that video yet, you can find it right here, up here somewhere, right there. We're gonna move over to another dear character of ours, which hasn't really been very active in comic. She shows up a little now and then, and it's the always so crazy Life herself.
Life is crazy, ain't it?
Life is really crazy. Ariel Conklin asks, does Life realize she's gone insane, and does she miss how she used to be? Night Firefox 94 also asks, is there a way for Life to become sane, or perhaps be recreated like Death being recreated as Grim? The thing with Life is that she tries to put all the new souls back into new bodies. She tries to save Life as good as she can, and it breaks her completely. She's probably not even aware at this point of how crazy she has become. She's just flat out insane. So don't overwork yourself, guys. Don't end up like Life.
Or this one.
Yeah.
He works all the time.
I do work all the time. Is there a way for her to get recreated like Death be recreated? I mean, I suppose. The reason to why Life didn't get a successor just like Grim is that when Shapeless created Grim, they kind of broke all the rules. They're not supposed to interfere at all.
No.
If a world goes to hell, then they should just leave it. But the Shapeless has their own plans for Earth, and that's why they created Grim, and that is already breaking the law. Royal Introvert asks, is the love that Death and Life had forbidden? Blue J Flight asks, if old Death and Life loved each other, does that make Life Grim's mother? Kismet Star asks, was Death in love with Life? Wannabe Bass is really curious about Death and Life's relationship. What if Life and Death had a baby? He is love Shapeless, my babe. This is also something that you will see more of in the comic. You will see some flashback about Death's life. Death's life, that sounded so weird. You will see what Death went through back in the days, and how he ended up loving Life as much as he does, and Life loving him as much as she does, because they do indeed have a very, very strong relationship between each other, because of kind of obvious reasons. Life and Death, they complement each other like yin and yang.
There is no life without death.
Does that make Life Grim's mother? No, Grim doesn't have a mother. He was like created from the heart of Death and the eyes of Death, so he's just a successor to Death. He is Death. Sunrise asks, if Daddy Death gets his power from his eyes and had a love for Life, does that mean that Life may have a special place for Junior? Life has a special connection to Grim. She is watching over both him and Reaper on their quest and journey to defeat the Sins. She always speaks in tongues about like that she misses him and that she wants to touch him again. She has a very strong connection to Grim since she loved Death, and Grim is Death. You will also see a lot more of that in the comic later on. Wannabe Bassist asks, where do Life live? Life lives in a big tree. I will show you the picture here. So she lives in this area right there, somewhere close to heaven. That's why she has access to sneak into heaven, like you can see in this episode right here. Hello Jim, were you here all the time? Welcome back. Phoenix Flames, can Shapeless make another life as he can Death? If so, what are her components? Like we kinda answered in the earlier question, it would be possible. We don't really know what would be her components.
No.
We haven't been thinking that far. So we're gonna leave Life there. That was pretty much all the questions you had about her. And the next topic is one character that many of you seem to be very fond of, our precious Shapeless. So let's see what questions we have about them. Manrex Drago asks, why can't Shapeless make 2 more beings like Death, Life, God or Devil, beings of high power? That is pretty much what they're supposed to do. Grim just needs to clear out all the sins, and the plan after that for Shapeless is to wipe everything and start all over. At least with the God and the Devil, because they are the most corrupted ones.
Avslöjar du inte nu hela typ så här plotpointen?
Nej, det tror jag inte. Det säger de för början, i första kapitlet. In the first chapter, Shapeless says that the plan is to create a new god and a new devil as soon as they have killed the Thins. When Jim doesn't even know his own story, shame on you. Purple Storm asks, can Shapeless be trusted? Just gonna leave that there. 61 Signy asks, is this Shapeless first galaxy? As in, has he made any other ones that have ended up being destroyed? Yeah, Shapeless has actually been been having a couple more galaxies that they have been taking care of. Yeah, like we said, we're being distracted by their tiny hamster in the background. He's so cute. Hi, Po. Hello. No, but what we're talking about? First galaxy. Yeah, it's the first. It's not the first galaxy, and you will get a lot more insight on that later on in the comic as well, because we will have a full chapter pretty much just dedicated to the Shapeless and just talking about where they come from and everything. A small blue dino asks, what do the other Shapeless look like? Will we get to see them? Yes, you will actually get to see them. They, like I said, they will have an entire chapter dedicated to Shapeless. Mehmeh asks, where does Shapeless come from, and does he have a creator? They are celestial beings, and they were born before time and space itself, so they are like created from something before even that existed. Do they have a creator? Yeah, they do have creators. Even the Shapeless have creators. You will see them. You get to see them in the story. Kevinak asks, does Shapeless have a boss? Yes. Yes, they do. Salt, do Shapeless have ranks? Yeah, they do have ranks too. Our Shapeless is actually one of the more younger ones. Yeah, you will get to see that our Shapeless is pretty far down in the ranking system tree.
I like that Poe is trying to get their attention.
Should we show Poe
Yeah, we can.
to the sinners? Hi Poe, do you want to come out and say hello? He's gonna. Oh Jesus Christ, he's dropped. Dropped from the ceiling. This is our hamster Poe. He's very cute. The cutest little hamster. He's filled with sand too because he's just taken a sand bath. He's so cute, isn't he? Cutest little skater. Really? I love hamsters. I've had hamster for over 10 years, I think. It's a lot of hamsters.
Yeah, no need for story time.
No story, I'm saving that for a story time later on. So let's go back to the question. Anonymous asks, does Shapeless ever fall in love before? I don't really know. It's not a lot you know about Shapeless. Like in general, when it comes to the Shapeless, they are supposed to be very cold-hearted because they can't really have feelings. They are taking care of so much. They have so much power and so many lives in their hands. So if they get too emotional, it will fuck up. Yeah. Which is why our world is the way it is, because our Shapeless is a bit too emotional. Matt Weimer asks, why did Shapeless make the new Reaper appear more human and less like the old Reaper? When the Shapeless create the Reapers, they take something that is like the strongest being on that planet for the moment, which is why Grimm became a human being. We were the top in the ranks there.
The top dogs.
The top dogs, when Death were created, I mean... Yeah. Speaking of Death, we're gonna leave Shapeless there. We're gonna jump right into our old grumpy dragon, Death himself. Joshua Tavara asks, does Daddy Death have a hobby now? Since he's retired and all.
Yeah, his hobbies are to complain and point out the shit that Shapeless do or do wrong. He also likes to pet the little
Death Dodos. And play chess occasionally too.
Yeah, not easy when you're island.
That is true.
I wonder if Shapeless would be one to cheat.
Probably. Purple Storm asks, must Death die? Yes. When a new Reaper is created, Shapeless must use the heart and the eyes of the old one put into a new one. There can only be one Reaper walking the earth at the same time, so that is why Death will have to die. He's hanging in there a bit longer than he should. Matt Weimer asks, is the old Reaper gonna die without his powers? Yes. Rhodia asks a series of questions. What even is death? The concept. Can immortal beings like Death, Life and Shapeless die? If Death dies, does that mean nobody else can ever die? So if these questions are stupid. They're not stupid. They're really good. Yeah. Let's see if we can answer them though.
Death can die in the sense of the next one taking over their place. Shapeless though,
I'm pretty sure they can die too. Everything can die. Everything can be killed. That sounds so sinister.
But you can like kill them in the sense of like going up to them and shoot them in the face.
No, exactly. But I think that the creators of the Shapeless could probably kill a Shapeless. Yeah. But then the question is, what could kill a creator? Donald Jarbo asks, what did Death looks like as a baby? Does Death have any pets? I actually think I made a picture of Death as a baby for a long time ago. I will see if I find it and I will post it here. I did it for another Q&A. I think it was the first Q&A we ever had for this comment. When we actually did the Q&A too. We didn't just skip it. Does Death have any pets? Yes, he does. He has all the Death Dodos. Little Meek and Meek's family are pretty much the only ones that keeps Death the company in the underworld.
Yep.
Undead Dragon 08 asks, did Big Papa Death ever have to put down dragons? Is that why he looks like a dragon as well? Well, you were correct there. That is pretty much exactly what it is. In our universe, at least, when the Earth was brand new and the first creatures that walked the Earth were indeed the dragons. And that's why Daddy Death looks like a dragon too, because they were the alphas on the planet by then. Olivia Hellman asks, how is Daddy Death a dragon?
We answered that.
Exactly. Green Boy asks, is Dragon Daddy watching over Grimm? As much as he can watch without eyes.
He's guessing.
Yeah, but just like Life is watching over Grim and Reaper with the bubbles, Shapeless and Death are also watching over Grim and Reaper every step that they take, which you also see occasionally in the comic, like here and like here. Intense Inferno asked, to all Death, have you ever been starstruck when reaping a famous person's soul? I don't think Death cares.
No.
At all.
It's his only job.
Everyone are the same in the eyes of Death. Okay, we're gonna leave Death now and we're gonna jump into the little side character that blew up and became like the main character after a while. We're gonna talk about Meek. Meek, our little Death Dodo, and the rest of the Death Dodos. The Lone Gamer asks, is Meek gonna be hilariously dangerous in future chapters?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Sekotan asks, do the Death Dodos ever get bigger or stay small? And do they also die? Or are there other creatures like Death Dodos? They grow. Meek is a fresh baby Dodo. There are other Dodos that are fully grown up, like you can see here and there.
If they can die though.
Yeah, everything can die. There's nothing that can escape death. Are there other creatures like the Death Dodos? Not really. They're one of a kind. For a long time ago, when I actually printed the next Reaper in a fanzine, I had this special page where I described all the characters, and I wrote this. If I remember correctly, it's something like, not even the Shapeless knows where they come from. When someone is in need of help, they just show up. Linko asked, what came first, the Death Dodo or the egg?
The Death Dodo.
Are they even laying eggs? Where do Death Dodos come from?
Will we ever know?
Briskier asks, so I'm guessing the birds are going to be important? Yes.
Yeah.
Royal Introvert asks, can the Death Dodos grow or evolve like Pokemon? They don't evolve like Pokemon, but they do grow. Indeed.
Meek, I choose you. Meek evolved.
The next evolution and be like bam bam bam. It's really cool. And that's it for this second part of the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next part, we're gonna talk more about the world of the next Reaper as well as the 7 deadly sins. We will also answer some individual questions to the characters, such as favorite colors, if they had any hobbies, what would they have, etc, etc. So if you have any more questions that we haven't answered today, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. We will reply to them directly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to show your support. Until next time, stay safe.
Bye.